Morning. I'm so glad you're with me today. Today my topic is going to be the dividing veil. So if you would please, I'm trying to build a channel, and this is new to me, and I'm going to ask you to share. I'm going to ask you to like, and I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my channel and help me build up my channel, okay? With that being said, let me show you what the dividing veil is. And as I go along, I will be explaining, and hopefully, if I explain it clear enough, you'll understand that we humans are a trinity. And in our trinity, there is a soul. And that soul is our spirit. That soul is what's going to leave us when we die. That soul, that spirit, will not die. Whether you go to heaven or hell, that spirit, that soul within us, that Trinity part of us, will never die. So let's get started. Topic: the dividing veil. The dividing veil is our bodies, the flesh. And the spiritual part of us is what dwells inside the body. And it reads like this. I'm going to go to John 4:23. And this is what John says. And we live in a time when I think we must pay attention to what John is saying. It reads as follows: but the hour is coming, and now is when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father in spirit and truth is seeking such to worship him. John 4:24 reads as follows: God is a spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. We are but one step from the spirit world. We, you and me, we are but one step from the spirit world. What divides us from that world is our physical bodies. Our bodies is the veil. Our bodies is our covering. While we're living, it is a veil that protects us from the spirit world. When we die, we lose the veil, which is our fleshly bodies. Here is the mystery concerning the unseen world. You see, we're in the natural, but we're one step from beyond. And that beyond is the spiritual world, okay? Our bodies in its human form is a trinity, which means 3 in 1. According to the Bible, the 3 in 1, according to the Bible, is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, during our lifetime, we experience the spiritual world, but you can't explain it. You hear something, you see something, or you feel a presence, but you don't see anything. But you know that something strange has just happened to you. That time is unexplainable. And there's a word for that: kairos. So what do we know about kairos time? It's God's time. Can't explain it. Something has happened. Have you ever heard, you like say you're in a room and you've heard somebody call your name? Have you ever heard your name called? I have. But you look around, there's no one there. Have you ever felt the presence of something, but no one is there? Have you ever had something to just, like a music box, for instance, go off by itself for no explained reason? You can't explain it, but yet it happened. You don't understand why, but something happened. That's Kairos time. That's God's time. It means that something has happened that you can't explain because it's not in your world that you can see, touch, or feel. It's in another dimension. And that dimension is there, but you don't feel it. You can't comprehend it because you're on this side. You're on this side, so you don't understand it. But listen to what John 1:1 says. He says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God. Here it is again. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It was with God, and it was God. Matthew 3:16, when Jesus was baptized, he came up from the water, and the heavens opened, and John saw the Spirit of God in the form of a dove. And John heard a voice from heaven saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." So think about what we see here. In this, we see God the Father present because he's speaking. John hears him. And he's saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased." Now, here's the other thing. Jesus was present at this time in the flesh. And the Holy Spirit was present in the form of a dove. A dove came from heaven and landed on Jesus. All three was present: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay? In the Old Testament, Genesis 1:26, God said, "Let us make man in our image." Let us, I want you to get this part, us. Let us make man in our own image. Then we go a little further in the Bible when they were building the Tower of Babel. And God once again said, "Let us go down and confound their language." Now, here again, what does he say? Let us go down and confound their language. In Genesis 1:7, the Trinity is revealed. You know, it's difficult for us to comprehend God's Trinity as well as our own Trinity. But let us ask ourselves, what is the 3 in 1? So the 3 in 1 for spiritual, in the spiritual world, is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But what about us? How can you define a Trinity for us? So let me kind of explain that a little bit. It's difficult. We're 3 beings, but we're one spirit, one body, one soul. But there's a lot more to us than even we see. So one way to understand it is I'm going to use the analogy of the sun, the imagery of the sun. The sun is a triunity. It manifests itself in threefold manner: heat, light, and the chemical action. These 3, and it takes all 3 to make up the sun itself. These 3 operate, or operatives of the sun, make up the sun itself. Neither one of them by itself is the sun. The sun can't be seen, but you can feel it. You walk outside right now. You cannot look up directly at the sun. You got to have something on your eyes. It's impossible. And we could damage our eyes by looking up at the sun with the naked eyes. So the sun, you can't see it, but you can feel it. How do you feel it? You feel its heat. How do you feel it? In the form of light. The light of the sun is what makes everything visible. When it's daylight, we see clearly, don't we? We see everything around us. The light of the sun is what makes light visible. The chemical action of the sun can neither be felt nor seen, but it's very powerful, because when you look at a tree, when you look at your garden growing, when you look at fruits and vegetables, it takes the sun, the chemical actions of the sun, to make things grow. You don't see that action when you look at the universe and the things, the trees and the plants and the grass and all that stuff. Therefore, you're experiencing what? The sun, the action of the sun. Using this illustration, let us apply it to the heat rays of the sun, which corresponds to God the Father. Now, God himself can't be seen. It says that no man shall see him and live. But he can be felt. How can God be felt? Because God is what? God is love. Love can be felt, but you can't see love, can you? You can see actions. You can see people demonstrating love, but love itself comes from a place within us that it can't be seen. Here's the thing. Of all the things that we are, and though we live and we die, love never dies. Love lives on. Love never dies. We take love to the grave with us. Love never dies. Our loved one died, but our love continues on until we die. When we die, those who loved us continue on. Love never dies. Take the light of the sun. The light rays of the sun corresponds to God the Son. It is the Son of God that makes light visible. The Son, Jesus, came to manifest God the Father. In 1 Timothy 3:16, Jesus said of himself, I am the light of the world. John 8:12, John 1:14 says, without the Son, we cannot know God. If Jesus had never come to reveal God and to reveal the Holy Spirit, we would not be Christians today. We cannot experience the Son without the Son introducing us to the Father. For Jesus himself came to reveal the Father to us. This is why Jesus said, he that have seen me have seen the Father. You can find that in John 14:9. Jesus said, he that have seen me have seen the Father. Now the chemical action of the sun corresponds with the Holy Spirit. It is the Holy Spirit that gives life and power to everything living in this world. The image of God is written on our hearts. It can never, the image of God is written on our hearts. As neither the heat, nor the light, or the chemical action of the sun is in itself the Son. It takes all three to make the Son. Though each has a separate work to perform. So the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are each in himself God. But they are united in their own capacities, each performing his official function in creation and preservation of the universe. The Father was manifested in the Old Testament times. The Son, Jesus, was manifested during his early ministry. And the Holy Spirit is what is still active with us today. Jesus said, I will never leave you. I will always be with you. Jesus said, I'm going to send you a comforter. And that comforter will never leave you, never forsake you. This explains the words of Jesus in the Great Commission, which you'll find in Matthew 28:20. Jesus said, Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Man is a trinity. We are composed of a spirit, we have a soul, and we have a body. 1 Thessalonians 5:23. Man is a trinity because God made man in the image of himself. Genesis 1:26. Therefore, like God, man is a threefold being. His spirit corresponds with God the Father. Our spirit corresponds with God the Father. Our spirit corresponds with Jesus the Son. Our spirit corresponds with the Holy Spirit. The three can be felt, but not seen. Our soul corresponds with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our body corresponds with God the Son. Love and our love of God bring forth the invisible to the visible. You and me, we are part of a world that in our present form we don't see, we don't understand, we don't comprehend, because it is beyond us. We are on the other side. But the spiritual world is all around us. Every now and then we get a glimpse. Every now and then we see something we're not supposed to see. Have you ever been to a place you've never been to before? But yet you know that place. You know everything that's in that place. You know where things are in that place, and you're standing like, how do I know that? It's what we call deja vu. The spiritual world and the spirit world is all around us. I'm going to conclude this part now. Be on the lookout for the spirit world, because I think it's going to be very interesting. You're living in the present world, but all around you, there's a whole nother world that exists parallel to your world. Every now and then, we get a glimpse. Please like, subscribe, share. I love you, and I'll see you the next time. May the peace of Christ be with you. Thanks for listening.